Fee-only and fee-based are terms that refer to how a financial advisor gets paid. It's an important distinction because a client should always have full disclosure surrounding how their advisor gets compensated. The two terms sound similar, but in practice they can be pretty different. So which one should you go for? Let's talk about it. A fee-only financial planner is paid directly by their clients for their services, whether that be with an hourly fee, which usually ranges from like $100 to $500 an hour, a fixed annual retainer fee, usually somewhere between $1,000 to $10,000 per year, or through an asset-based fee. I think the most common number out there is probably 1%. And any combination of those three compensation structures can also be considered fee-only, so just make sure you know which one you're looking at. The biggest attraction that people have to this compensation model is that it eliminates most, if not all, conflicts of interest from the financial advisor's perspective, so then the client can know that they're getting advice and recommendations from their advisor that are in their best interest. A fee-based financial planner gets paid directly by the client, but also from some potential other sources, such as commissions from products that they either place clients' dollars in or they sell to the client. This model can create a conflict of interest, as the advisor may be charging the client directly already, while steering them in the back end towards financial products from which the advisor profits. For this reason, some people, and mostly fee-only advisors, will argue that fee-based advisors are an inferior business model. Because of this conflict of interest, they could be incentivized to make recommendations and direct a client's investment dollars into other products or services just for the sake of earning money and not because they're in that client's best interest. In practice, many fee-based advisors generate the majority of their revenues from the same exact source that fee-only advisors do, which is an asset-based or AUM, assets under management-based fee, and that's usually charged as a percentage of assets, the most common number being about 1% of however much money you have invested with them. Fee-based advisors would argue that they have more flexibility over the types of investments and products that they can utilize with their clients because they're not restricted to certain compensation models. Life insurance policies or REITs, real estate investment trusts, are great examples of this. Fee-only advisors cannot offer those products directly. In most cases, they'd have to refer life insurance cases or real estate investment cases to outside firms, whereas a fee-based advisor can receive some types of commissions like these products pay. So it gives them the availability to offer those products and investments to their clients in the case that their clients really want them or they think they're the best options in a certain environment. If you have a great financial advisor you know you can trust, the differences in compensation shouldn't affect their judgment. And I think we would all like to believe that that's how the financial advice industry goes. But at the end of the day, money talks, and you might be surprised to see just how often many financial advisors or financial planners make advice and recommendations based on the commissions that they're trying to earn. For many years, there was also a difference in the legal standard that fee-only advisors and fee-based advisors were held to. The specific laws that regulated these two different types of financial advisors are very long and complex and can be interpreted in some different ways. Most people summarized these differences, though, in saying that fee-only financial advisors were held to a fiduciary or best interest standard. They had to make recommendations that were always in the best interest of the client, whereas fee-based advisors were held to a lower legal standard in which they had to only recommend products that were suitable to the client. Like, yeah, this could work for them, and not necessarily the best product for them, so that maybe the advisor could cherry pick on which product has a higher commission. But more recently, a new financial regulation was passed in 2019 or 2020 called Regulation BI, which stands for Best Interests, that ties even financial advisors working for many broker-dealer firms, which are those firms that were previously considered by a lot of people to be held to a lower legal standard, to only be able to make recommendations to clients that they believed were in those clients' best interest, kind of upping the bar on this side of the coin so that fee-based advisors would be at a similar standard as fee-only advisors. There are still some legal differences between the two, but I think this Reg BI has kind of leveled the playing field in that respect. If you want to take this one step further, fee-only financial advisors who get paid from a regular annual-based asset-based fee, like the 1% we talked about earlier, could be said to have some conflict of interest versus a fee-only advisor who is only charging an annual retainer fee, like a flat $5,000 or an hourly rate. Think of an example where someone is considering taking $20,000 that maybe they've saved up in the bank over the years or they got as a bonus for a certain job, and they're deciding whether they want to invest that money to hopefully grow it down the line or take that money and pay off a remaining car loan, student loan, the remaining balance on their mortgage, whatever it might be. Use that money to pay down a debt, which carries an interest rate. Well, for a fee-only advisor who's getting paid based on the client's account, say they have a $100,000 account, but if the client deposited that $20,000, now the client's account just went from $100 to $120. If 20% increase in the asset base that that advisor is billing from. So that advisor got a 20% raise from the client that they're working with. So if we're saying that money talks, certainly the advisor in that scenario has a financial incentive to tell the client that they should invest that money with them rather than use it to pay down a debt. And you could take it even further and say, well, even if you're a fee-only financial advisor who doesn't even bill on assets, but you bill on an hourly basis, you could have an incentive to make your work take a longer period of time, just like people say lawyers can do, so that you can rack up the charge on the client and say, hey, this job took me 4 hours to complete for you, that's going to be $2,000, rather than trying to work really efficiently and effectively to get something done in maybe 3 hours that they could have otherwise get. So, there's always these claims you can make around whether or not someone is operating with a conflict of interest. Because of these points, there is no clear-cut winner here in the differences between the two types of compensation models for financial advisors that we're talking about. It will always remain important to do the due diligence when a client is considering working with a financial advisor to make sure that that advisor is someone that they feel like they can trust, to always make recommendations to them that are in that client's best interest rather than for any monetary reasons. Another factor to consider with any financial advisor is their background education and their professional designations. These things can matter for a few different reasons, but for the purposes of this video, let's focus on the standards of duty and care that different backgrounds and different designations can require advisors to uphold when working with their clients, because I think it most aligns with what we've already been talking about. Most people working in wealth management industry, otherwise said the retail finance industry, are going to agree that the top two designations right now are the CFP, the Certified Financial Planner designation, and the CFA, the Chartered Financial Analyst designation. And both of those two designations uphold what I believe to be a higher standard of duty and care to their clients. In some cases, they're held to more strict rules and tougher requirements and higher standards of ethics than even the law requires. So if you are someone worried about some of the things that I've mentioned in this video and your consideration of the different types of financial advisors, knowing that there can still exist some types of conflicts of interest in almost every compensation model, you might want to look for someone with these designations, one or both of the designations, and you can look at the CFA or CFP's website to see exactly what level of care or standard of care their members are held to when working with clients. One quick example is that for a CFA charter holder, you can't even conduct acts that could potentially be perceived as conflicts of interest from a client's perspective. So you're really limited into who you can go to lunch with and who you can accept gifts from and things like that could be perceived as creating conflicts of interests in your decision-making process. Like I said, in some cases, there are just higher standards of care that people with those designations may be held to, and that could be in your best interest. The total amount of fees that a client or investor will pay when working with a financial advisor under either of these two models can also be fairly different. Like it was mentioned at the beginning of the video, either model can include multiple types of fees that the client will pay. So a fee-only advisor could charge an annual retainer fee of $5,000 and also a 1% asset-based fee based on the amount of money the client has invested with them. The client in that scenario would want to look at both sources of expenses that they are incurring to work with that advisor to do the math and figure out exactly what their total fees are going to be. With a fee-based advisor, if you were to buy a certain product that carries huge commissions like a whole life insurance policy or an annuity, your advisor may be making out huge on you in a certain year when that product was sold. You may be paying a huge amount of fees that you don't even see anywhere because they're all behind the scenes. Those are the types of products that can really kind of create a conflict of interest. But if you're working with a fee-based advisor who doesn't necessarily have to bill you on your assets like a fee-only advisor might, they could simply put your money in a brokerage account that may charge you commissions down the line if you were to sell something. But if you didn't sell anything and you held a certain investment for 10 years, let's say, you might get away with 10 years of literally zero fees to that advisor. So it could be a lower total expense scenario for a client working with a fee-based advisor. Again, in either scenario, someone would want to ask what the total expenses that they will incur are, and then do the math to see what the differences will be to them. The last point here is proprietary products. When you're working with a fee-based advisor, they may be more inclined to use proprietary firm-sold products with their clients. Typically, the fee-only advisors are working through broker-dealers that don't have any proprietary products like LPL, Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, whatever, whereas a fee-based advisor could be working with a bank or annuity company that certainly has products that their corporate directors would love for them to push all day long. If a financial advisor is truly taking an unbiased view towards the universe of investments and making recommendations to their clients based on what they think is best for those clients, it's very unlikely that maybe half of a client's portfolio is going to be comprised of proprietary products just from their firm, right? Like, what are the odds that there's one firm that has the best investment vehicle for half of the asset classes out there, and oh wait,
hey look, it's the firm I actually work for.
Yeah, that's just not going to fly. For a fee-based advisor whose firm has proprietary products to sell, if you look at a client account, or if you're the client and you're looking at your own investments and realize that a good portion of what you're using are the firm's based products, there's probably a reasoning behind that rather than them just being the best option. Probably the advisor got some commission or they got some bonus structure for pushing the firm's products onto you. The advisor's decision making could also not be motivated by commissions, but rather just ease of use for them. They might be more comfortable with the proprietary products, and that might not necessarily be a bad thing, but it still means they're probably not doing the full due diligence that some advisors will do for you, where they look at the entire universe of investments and actually decide on what the one best option might be out there, or the handful of best options might be. So watch out for proprietary products and a fee-based model. And that's it. If these points were helpful for you, or if you're liking any of the other content on the channel, I'll ask that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Both of those things help me out. I appreciate them very much. And as always, thanks for watching.